Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Holt. I'm the founder at Aila. Thank you so much for signing up. I'm excited to show you today how the platform works. I'm just going to go through the settings and sort of show you what configurations are available so you can get to know our platform a little bit better and hopefully have the easiest onboarding experience as possible. So let's jump right in. So once you get into the platform, you'll see you can actually expand and contract the sidebar. You'll see we have settings and you can actually scroll on here. We have several different things that are available. I'm going to be going through this today. So let's just jump right into connections. And you can see under connections, you have three things: integrations, webhooks, and API keys. So each of these are used for different things. Integrations are off-the-shelf integrations we have with various platforms. I'm going to open this up and just show you what we have here. So first off, if you use Zoom, Google Meet, or Teams, those three are available here. This connects your calendar, like Google Calendar or Microsoft, to our system, and then we can see every single meeting you have in your calendar. We will then send a bot to join that meeting and then process your calls that way. We've got the ability to connect a bunch of different platforms here, things like Lead Connector, Bonzo, Salesforce, and HubSpot. And also you can see we have a variety of dialers and we're adding more all the time. If you don't see what you're looking for here, please let me know. Also, you can see this Hey Pocket. This is actually a cell phone based call recorder similar to Plod that you can buy as a separate hardware piece. We have a partnership with them, integrate with their app, and then they process calls the same way we do with any other dialer out there. I'm going to jump into webhooks. So webhooks are the ability to fire off events that happen in our system to other platforms like Zapier. Also, Go High Level and other CRMs typically have webhook handlers. So you can create webhooks to do certain things in our platform, like when calls complete, tasks are created, new appointments, MISMOs are ready, or just a test if you need to. We also have API keys. These are to get things from our system. We have detailed API documentation available here. You can use this to see what's available and build to our system if you have any use cases to do that. I'm going to jump into call types. So for most of you, you're probably coming from mortgage. The main prompt that we have for mortgage is available here. You can see I'm going to click this edit button. And this is every field that is in the MISMO 3.4. So we mapped all these fields. Within each one of these fields, you'll actually see they're locked, but you can see the prompt that we're using underlaying the specific field there, and we have constrained values based on the data type that we need to pull for that particular field in MISMO. So this goes across every single section of the MISMO. It's very detailed. The other thing you can do is you can actually add additional fields to this. So if you wanted to customize the data that was coming through that you get to see after the call, which I'll show you in a bit, you can actually add sections and add fields to that section and make them whatever you want. So let's say you want to do like a custom call disposition. Let's just say it's text and say call disposition options are closed, not ready, and credit repair. Let's just say those are the typical ones we want to do. You can also map these fields to your CRM. So if you've got a field in, say, Go High Level or HubSpot that's like contact.call disposition, you can add that here, and we will map into that field every single time you place a call. So quite easy to set up custom fields to go directly into your CRM after a call. It's a big thing we do in Aila. And then I'm going to jump out of this and just show you some other things we've got in the call types. So every single call, we can do a custom summary. So maybe you want to have certain things pulled out of every single call or the summary different than we have it by default. You can add custom instructions here. We also have custom dispositions you can create here. So if you do have dispositions you want every single time, we have those dispositions configurable here and these as a default. And the other thing is we can create call types based on your Go High Level or other CRM if you use it, or create with AI. And so if you want to have, like you can see right here, we have a typical mortgage lending application call. I also have, obviously for me, a demo call for Aila. And you can see basically like the fields that we're pulling here and all the different types of information we want to get out of that. So you can see pricing details discussed or not. And like you can see, it says $50 a month here. This is the sort of thing we can pull out with just data based on a conversation. So I'm going to jump into more of what we support here in Aila. So call scoring is another big one we have. Here, you can actually score every single one of the calls that comes through our system. You can create this with AI, or you can just create it by hand. Either one works. I will just show you what this looks like on a consumer direct call center type. So you can see these are all questions that we have, and you can see they're either binary or rated types of questions. I'm going to jump down here. Let's look at this timeline question here. So you can see agent should outline what happens next timeline and clear any expectations to prevent confusion. And you can see the scorecard just asks, did the agent clearly explain the next steps in the mortgage application process? This is set up as a binary. You could set this up as a not applicable, and this would be a case where maybe the customer is not ready to move forward and you don't want to actually score this question. Or you can set this as a rated question, and a rated correct question also has a custom rubric you can add. So maybe if you said something like, hey, I'm going to call you next week and we'll get you reapproved, maybe that's a 2 versus a 5 would be, hey, I'm going to call you at 5 o'clock on Thursday next week. We're going to go through each of these steps, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe that would be a 5, right? So this custom rubric allows you to customize the call scoring. We do have some off-the-shelf call scoring you can use. So if you're interested in scoring your call, please let us know. Within call scoring, we have lots of different formulas you can use. These are, again, for people that are doing some very detailed stuff. We're working separately with different coaches to actually enable scoring built in. So this will be used if you're in a more detailed version of a coaching program. Next that I want to show you here today is Task. So Task allow you to create a trigger for certain tasks to be created in your CRM after a call ends. So let's say every time you get off a call with a borrower, you want to know whether or not you said you're going to send the application, and you want that task to be created in Go High Level. Task allow you to generate that just with a simple trigger. You just name the task, and actually I'll just go ahead and let's do follow up with borrower. Just take a look at this. After I have a conversation, this one is about realtor partners. I need to follow up with the borrowers about what they sent. And you can see the task title that's going to go in Go High Level is follow up with contact name, and task description can just be a prompt of what you would like to see in that. So any task you can come up with after a call, you can have created automatically in your CRM after. I'm going to jump into team and subscription. So quite simply, you can come here to see any users that you need to invite or any users in your Go High Level. If you use that, inviting a team member does increment your billing. We have several different roles here. Most important one is owner. This person owns the billing. They're a manager of all users. They can see all calls and all their calls get processed. We also have an admin, which is the same as an owner, but they don't get their calls processed, and that is not a billable seat. So only people that have their calls processed are actually billable in our system. Manager has a list of people that they can see, or everyone in the system. And member can get all their calls processed. They cannot do billing. They cannot change users, and they do get their calls processed, but they can only see their own calls. And then beyond that, just under personal settings, if you are an owner of an organization, you can change the name of your organization. And then any individual users will be able to see any calendar connections they have that has the Aila bot joining their meeting. As you can see, I have Google Calendar. It actually does join all of my meetings. Aila is a deep part of my workflow. And then I have some account settings like my name, email, password, just opting into emails and then notifications. And very quickly, email notifications just sends emails to me after every call from Aila. And the CC email is anyone else I want to receive that exact same email. The use case for this would look something like I have a loan officer assistant and I want them to know every time I get off a call, the information that comes out of that call. And so I'm just going to jump into a call very quickly and show you guys what it's going to look like. So let's jump into here. And as you can see, this is a very simple mortgage call I did with one of my friends. And I'm going to jump into this just briefly and show you what it looks like. So on each call, you're going to get a timeline. This is going to show you exactly what happened when on that call. You can see an overview. This is just a summary of the call. This drops directly into your CRM along with rapport building and follow-ups. So rapport building is going to be things like family, hobbies, travel, just general interests. We'll pull that out and then drop that into the CRM as well, so you can maintain and build that relationship. And then we have follow-ups. These go into your CRM as well under just the follow-ups. If you want to actually create a task, that's under the task settings that I showed you earlier. Next big thing is the data. So data is based on the mortgage lending prompt and any other things you added, like call disposition. And this is available to go through and actually edit before. So if something was not picked up by Aila, you can always edit it here. And then, as you hopefully know, you can export the MISMO from this top right button. This will allow you to once again edit and check the fields before you export it. And then this downloads the XML file when you click it here. So that's all we're going to look at for today in Aila. There's a lot more settings we have for managers in the system, and we'll have another video to show you and go through that. If you do have any questions, hopefully you have our email, but if not, it is support@aila.fyi. You can also reach out to me directly, and we're happy to assist. And thank you so much for signing up, and we appreciate your business. And if there's anything you need from us, please let us know. We're excited to chat.